Welcome back to Twice Half That. I'm Anthony.
What's up, I'm Daryl.
And just to give you guys a heads up, we got the game on in the background, so we will be distracted.
Yeah, pivotal game 5. I'm sorry, you guys. Normally, we wouldn't do this, but it's a finals. You know, Mondays is when we record. I get off of work. Jordan Poole jumps up. He gets fouled. And, no, he missed it. Man. All right, but...
So we will be in and out talking about some basketball, but we got some other topics to talk about, too.
One that Anthony wanted to touch on last week was Deshaun Watson. And, oh, my God.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, we could do a show this week and then 2-3 weeks down the line have to do another show because more information comes out, and it's constantly coming out. I mean, it started off with 1, then it was 3, then it was 9, then it became 21, and then 22, 23. His lawyer goes on the radio and says, well, you know, it's not really illegal to make someone feel uncomfortable. If you're a lawyer, you know that that's exactly what sexual harassment is. It's making someone feel uncomfortable through leering, touching, talking, any of that. And if what he's alleged to have done with these women, that's more than sexual harassment. That is assault.
Yeah.
And in some cases, rape. Because rape isn't just vaginal penetration. It's alleged, for those of you who have not really kept up on it, it's alleged that he forced some of their mouths onto his penis,
that's legit, full on rape, and that's why. Listen, if you are in any type of sport, any type of public figure, and you make more than enough money, just pay someone. Like, why?
Yeah.
Why do you have to make things difficult on yourself? Just legit find someone and pay them. It will make it a lot easier on you. It'll definitely make it a lot easier on them, and it will save everyone the disappointment of seeing a rising star literally
and
crash
as you know,
to the ground.
bringing it to a fan standpoint, as a Niners fan, there was a lot of rumors about them going after Deshaun before these initial allegations came out. Holy shit, did the Niners dodge a bullet. And Cleveland, what the fuck? Like, and I understand you can only do so much due diligence, but I mean, just the fact that there's still, at that point, there were still 22 civil cases hanging over his head. You're going to give up the draft picks you gave up, and then
is this Blade Runner 2?
No, I don't know. It's some Ryan Gosling movie, and then you're going to go and give him $230 million over, I think it's 5 years, fully guaranteed. You were guaranteed. That means that outside of him getting locked up, unless you were smart enough to put a clause in that contract that if, you know, there's the hell's the word I'm looking for? The same thing that keeps certain people out of the Hall of Fame. Oh my God.
Stipulations?
No.
Consequences?
Character clause.
Oh.
Unless you have some sort of character clause in there to where you can kind of use it to get out of the contract, but you've already done it. Like, you've already take the money out of it. You've already made that move as a team. You've already disrupted that locker room because now you've got a quarterback on the roster that doesn't want to be there anymore. You've got all that future capital given up.
That dude looked like Tupac.
But, you know, and that's just the football side of it. That's not even how disgusting of a human being this motherfucker is.
Yeah, dude. Like, as a massage therapist, I could tell you, anybody who sees a massage therapist at the level that he did, that's Robert Kraft levels of going to a masseuse. Because a massage therapist is someone who literally helps you out with your muscles. A masseuse is a whore. and most likely they're either
they're against their will.
Man, yes, especially the Asian ones. I hate to say it, but growing up in the city,
and I've read plenty of articles about it.
Seen
these
plenty
women,
of documentaries.
Yeah, these women are brought over here, and they have to work it off. Work off the fee of being brought over here by selling themselves
for like a decade.
Yeah, and
these contracts
it's basically until they're completely, quote unquote, used up. Like, they're not the same person when they come out of it.
Or whatever
you can't be.
They came to get them here, and that's not right. Number one, it's not right because it's violating, I shouldn't say violating, because they are, agreeing as much as you can agree in a situation like that. It's bad for them, and as someone who's in the profession, as a male, it's not bad for me, because let's be honest, you ain't gonna pull that with me. You're gonna pull it with a tiny little chick, which I've had happen when I was at an establishment. It was only
we've both been there,
and the female therapist. She came up to me and she was all like, I specifically asked the owner to not allow him to be put on my books. And she called him, and he said, nah, it's okay, just let him do it.
It's not.
And I was like, no. So we switched. He got mad. I legit almost got in a fight with that guy on that shift. I was totally gonna do it. Oh, don't you call it.
They called it, but not a shot.
And And that's annoying, to sit there and stare at someone dead in the eye and tell them, yeah, that's not going to happen. I'm working with you. She's not, and then tell you, literally take off his glasses, put them on the counter, and be like, I'm going in that room. What do you expect me to do? To cower down? I'm not.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
That's not going to happen.
No.
Literally had to take off my work shirt, come around the counter, and was like, are we going to have a problem, or are you going to leave? And he's seen, okay, I better leave. I wasn't going to snitch. I was going to beat his ass and then kick him out. And, whatever happens. But nah, you ain't about to sexually assault somebody or make any of my coworkers feel
just uncomfortable. Like, sexually harass them, make them feel uncomfortable. I missed it.
He just popped Poole right in the face, gave him a bicep hit. Is that on the Warriors? Who's that on?
No, he called it on him.
Okay, yeah. He's saying, calm down, dude, because you guys have been super physical all game. Look at that. Look, see? Oh, yeah, he caught him on a downstroke.
Yep.
Sorry, you guys.
I don't think he intentionally hit him, but he did hit him.
Yeah, and that shouldn't be allowed in any work environment.
No.
This
and
is
that's
no longer
literally sexual harassment is making them feel uncomfortable. Nothing even needs to be said. You can stare at someone and make them feel uncomfortable, and it's classified as sexual harassment. And rightfully so.
Yes. And as a guy, I'm not gonna lie, I'm guilty just as much as he is, just
probably
as much
more
as any of I've had female coworkers that I've been super cool with, and they have they've been pretty have been pretty descriptive in how they would objectify this guy. And it was just like, they were talking to me like if they were talking to a girlfriend.
The same way that, two dudes, if you get engaged in one of those conversations, the same way. I mean, the men and women are very similar when it comes to that. Like, it's not this big, but if the other person isn't interested...
Oh, come on, you guys.
Guess what?
Going for the pretty ones.
Guess what? You can't do it.
Jump off. Yeah, you can't. You can't be doing that type of stuff. You can't push the issue. If you ask, and they say no, you gotta leave it.
That's it.
And number one thing to do is,
and dudes,
gosh, darn it.
And dudes, if you make your advance towards someone, regardless of what gender, and this isn't just towards dudes, anybody. If you make your advancement towards someone,
this is a human rule,
and they are not interested. They're not saying, not right now, and truly meaning not right now, it's not a good time for me. They're truly meaning, no, they're trying to be kind about it. Or if they outright say no, guess what? It's no. Move on.
Most people don't like awkward situations, so they're not going to be.
I've witnessed plenty of situations where a dude's, usually a dude is hyper aggressive in hitting on a chick. She's trying to be kind and, oh, okay, nice, yeah, all right. They're trying to be nice about it and just, let you down easy. And then eventually you keep going and they get to a point to where now they don't feel safe. They're going to outright tell you, get the fuck away from me.
Or if they've been abused, they won't. They'll shut down.
Yeah.
Do not take silence as, keep going. If you're met with...
If anything, silence is loud.
That's a stone wall. You're being stonewalled.
That's loud.
Back up. Just back up, bro. Back up. And if you're literally that hard up again, dude, don't let it get to desperate levels. Go pay for some release. If you have to, go do it. Don't harass anyone. And this is specific towards dudes, because I've met some pretty creepy people, man.
Yeah.
Pretty creepy dudes. And it's like, this commercial's funny. And it's annoying, because it's like, bro, especially with these incels, just because someone's nice to you doesn't mean that,
I've actually recently had this conversation. I had this conversation numerous times. Is oftentimes I don't realize if someone's flirting with me.
Nah, most dudes are stupid.
And it's partially that, and it's partially I just always assume. I never assume anything, because that's where you start getting in trouble. I'll just be like, all right, they're nice.
And half the time, we're daydreaming about someone doing that. So when you actually do it, it's like, am I tripping?
Yeah.
Like,
so for those of you out there, and
most of the time you're just stupid and not paying attention, like an idiot.
Yeah. And so, just a note out there to anyone trying to,
we all know Kawhi ain't picking up no pickup games anyway.
Hell no. He ain't picking up practice, let alone pickup games. It just, if you really want a guy's attention, explicitly tell them. It saves all that headache.
You ask, hey, Sadie Hawkins, we're in a brand new century, brand new age. You want that? Hey, dinner, you, me, this time, that time, let's go.
And oftentimes, if the dude's even slightly interested,
okay. Like, sure. Wow, I didn't even have to do anything. It's like, shit. You need to take a chance. And dudes, especially when you're like Deshaun Watson, like, what are you doing? And I understand.
Hey, shoot your shot.
Not when you're getting a massage. The person is at work, dude. What are you doing?
No. I'm talking when you come across an attractive person, regardless of gender and your orientation, when you come, shoot your shot. By all means, shoot your shot. Have a little class when you do it.
Treat it like a business transaction. You were trying to get to know that specific company.
Yeah, shoot your shot.
Hey, bow. Hey, let's go do something that you could easily back out of.
Say, thank you for your time. Move on. That's it. One of my favorites is when you see dudes. It's very specific, not specific, but it typically with dudes where they're hollering at a chick, hollering hard, and then she doesn't give. Man, you ain't shit anyway. 15 seconds ago, she was shit. She's what you were trying to get with. Now all of a sudden, she ain't, because she shot you down. That says everything that you need to know about that person. But yeah, going back to Deshaun, we,
got off topic.
As you have come to find out,
slightly on topic.
We do go on these little tangents, and if you pay attention, you'll see how we got there. But going back to Deshaun, and we do try to circle back. Ooh, wigs. We do try to circle back, but yeah, going back to Deshaun. Now, there's reports coming out that it was 66 different massage therapists that he saw in a 17-month period.
That's
serial.
I mean, that's odd, to have that many
as a former therapist, I would tell my clients that it is important to find a therapist that you're comfortable with. So you may have to go through 3, 4, 5 before you find the one that their style, their pressure, their quote unquote energy, just everything, and just their personality, it clicks.
But when you're known for being, at that point, a sexual predator,
and not just
that's
that,
very telling.
66
is
too many. 66 is more than finding one that you're comfortable with. That's trying to go through ones that you can.
You guys got to pick up that rebound, man.
That's going through and trying to see how good. That's also telling me that I can't even finish the damn sentence. That's also telling me that you're not seeing these therapists because they don't want to see you again. Why? Why is that? You start hearing the reports that he would, ask them to touch his penis. He would move his penis towards their hands. He would move their hands to his penis. And in some cases, as I stated earlier, he forced their mouths onto his penis.
That's legit. Like, come on, man. You deserve to be in jail for that.
And the fact that all this information's coming out, and the fact that 2 grand juries in the state of Texas didn't feel like there was enough evidence to take it to trial. They dismissed it. 2. Now, do I know if he's guilty or not? No. And, of course, in this country, it's innocent until proven guilty. Wiggs is on a mission this game.
Yep, give it to Wiggs. Let him be tonight's MVP. It's all good.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that.
It's a team game. Denied. Gave him the foul, didn't you?
So it's
an NFL problem. It truly is, because the NFL keeps letting a lot of these guys get away with minor. I shouldn't say minor.
Some of them are minor. It's a lot of quote unquote minor, like lesser than this.
Let's look at Ben. Remember Ben? Maybe you were there too. No, you weren't there at that time. When we were in high school and we went up to Tahoe, he was playing the Pro-Am. I think it was the Pro-Am or whatever.
No, I think that was Celeb game. I think that was Stand. It's a Pro-Am.
He legit, look at that, and he legit, he sexually assaulted a woman, and by all accounts, it sounded like it was totally unwanted. I think he was really drunk, but that's no.
But that doesn't excuse it.
Blah 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 blah.
That doesn't
excuse. Bounced off, dude.
It doesn't excuse the action.
No,
it can explain why it happened. It doesn't excuse it, because he's not doing something that isn't there in his head.
Oh, in and out.
He, the old adage of drunk man, like, what is it? A drunk man's words are a sober man's thoughts. So, him being drunk can explain why it happened, like why he allowed it to get to that point, but it doesn't excuse the fact that he took his dick out and was like flashing people. And in some of the alleged cases, went into a bathroom with them. What happened?
Yeah, that's not cool.
And he's one that had on multiple occasions, at least when he was younger, where there were multiple occasions where he took his dick out.
Not me, because your thumb's over here pointing towards
this
me.
guy right here. No, Ben Roethlisberger.
I do not do that.
No, Ben Roethlisberger. And you stopped hearing stuff about that as he got older.
He turned it around. The NFL saved him. And this is the problem. It's they're protecting their investment, and yes, and that is a huge problem, because now you're basically saying without saying that person's above the law, because monetarily they pull so much in. Come on, back away, Draymond. You ain't gotta talk to him. Don't talk to him.
Just back away.
Come on, bro.
Walk away.
Like, man, sorry, you guys. He's just, I love Draymond, but it's all like Field Marshal Green. Sometimes you're a little too much Klingon. Back up. I need you to be Vulcan in some cases. Just back up, bro. I know you're trying to get in Tatum's head. You're already there. Oh, he doesn't want to give him the ball. That's what it is. It's like it's not street ball, bro. You don't get kicked out the game. We need you. Settle down. Simmer down now.
Now going back and watching it, that was less Draymond and more Tatum and Smart.
It was, but it's all like, dude, just back up.
Yeah,
you know the refs are giving it to him. And again, case in point, like you watch this series, you cannot deny that they're giving Boston a lot of whistles.
Especially game 3 and 4. Especially game 3 and 4.
And a big reason why Kevin Durant came here was because we lost to the Cavs. He said it in a tweet. He said, "Whoever loses this series, I'm going to the loser. That's what I'm going to." He came here, and not to mention that, if you watch those games, he gets pissed off too when you see Curry getting fouled left and right. Warrior breathes on somebody.
We'll touch back on the Mahomes. I'm sorry, Patrick Mahomes. You Kermit the Frog.
What's up with your brother though, dude?
Yeah.
Can you stop allowing him places? Because he's
the one that really got me was that Sean Taylor one. That was so disrespectful.
Like, dude,
so disrespectful,
dude. And anybody who's the sibling of a star or an athlete or a star athlete, shut up and stay out the way.
You're the sibling. You've done nothing. In the case of I don't remember his first name, Patrick Mahomes' brother. He's so inconsequential. I don't know his name.
Patrick Whitaker.
Oh, yes. But in his case, his dad was a professional athlete. His brother is arguably the new face of the NFL.
Oh, he most definitely is.
So they accomplished something. You've done nothing except for disrespect people every chance you get. And if you haven't seen it, go back and look at the Sean Taylor situation. Last year they were retiring his number, I think, and honoring him. Those of you who don't know, Sean Taylor was a safety for what is now the Washington Commanders. At that time, they were the Washington Redskins, and he was very good. He was, at that point, you can make the argument that he was the best safety, if not a top 2 or 3 safety in the league at that time. And I want to say he was like 25 or 26. He was at home in Miami, in the Miami area, which is where he was from, because he was injured.
He literally threw him.
He was injured, so he's at home. There's a home invasion. There's differentiating. I don't know if they ever figured it out exactly what it was, if it was a straight up hit or if it was truly a home. That was a kickball. If it was truly a home invasion gone wrong. But 2 men entered his home, shot him in bed.
That's a hit.
He died. So, in the prime of his career, young man, young daughter, everything. And, Washington was finally, this was, more than 10 years ago now. I think it was like 12, 13 years ago now.
Wow. They just keep giving Boston all the fouls. This is ridiculous. See, this is what I mean. This is why we need, now that they want to make gambling, and this is one thing I wanted to touch on when I was talking to him. I'm going to interject real quick.
Yeah.
They're allowing online gambling to take place a lot more now. And if you look, no foul. And
that's verticality. He went straight up.
And if you look at how the big 3 leagues have been officiated since they've made this major push for online gambling, it has legit been shit officiating. It has almost been, allegedly, so I don't get sued. I mean, if I do, that goes to show you that I was onto something and that they are cooking the books. This is why I can't gamble with sports, because all you need is a couple executives to be
you can't gamble, period, because you're an ultimate cooler.
What?
You. gambling, period.
Oh, no, yeah, legit.
He walks in, hottest table, and he loses.
Yeah, not only will I lose, you will lose. The dealer will start winning.
So Vegas, Reno, any casino, if you're looking for a cooler, right here.
Hey.
Right here.
I'll take a 12-figure contract.
I'm his agent. I get 10% of that.
Okay, if that's the case, 15-figure. And I want to be paid in pennies. Pennies and buffalo nickels. Oh, scheisse. And, oh, damn, I wanted to start with the shot for the fallen in Ukraine, but, hey.
Hey, you know what? I got you.
And they need more ammo.
I'll let him keep spinning his yarn.
Yeah, but there's a problem. I'd like for the government to look into that. It's a little weird. And on top of it, since gambling is allowed to be had on any of these major sports, why isn't there some independent, group? Shit, I'll even take a government group that looks into wow, that's bull. They're allowing this guy to take the shot too. See what I mean? I hate the NBA. What's his name? The referee, Donahue. He said it best. If there's an officiate the head officiate who doesn't like a team, it clearly goes against that team. That's bull. Iverson had his guy. Go read his book. He clearly spells it out. You think they fixed anything? No. He even claimed that Michael and Phil, give me that one. Which one sound my Russian? Now you. Ooh. I've been doing a lot of Jamaican accents, so I should do
Patois?
No, how do I do Russian? Mother Russia, give me vodka. Give me vodka. I would take a hit with vodka. No Russian, Ukrainian, I don't know how to do Ukrainian accents. Pretty close, you're Slav. You're the same, kind of, except for right now. Yeah, but that's messed up. And to all the Ukrainians that stood in their country and fought, or been some type of support, I really I gotta tip my hat to you guys, because that is something that is beyond wigs.
Slam down that door, motherfucker. But Wiggins is on one this game. Hey.
And for all my basketball fans in Ukraine that can't watch this, man, I'm with you. When all this is over, ooh.
Dude, y'all are truly, everyone says thoughts and prayers. Y'all truly are in my thoughts. I don't pray. I'm not a religious individual.
I think about you all the time.
Yeah, dude.
When I'm on Reddit, I'm constantly watching. Look at this. I'm constantly watching the Ukraine subreddit, the combat in Ukraine or whatever it is.
You guys, dude.
You're literally...
so much respect for the way that you guys are standing up for yourselves and not rolling over and fighting. And Zelensky, props, bro.
For real.
For a Nazi Jew, you're not bad.
Man, for real.
The fact that was the argument that Russia was using.
You're the sickest Nazi Jew I've ever seen. That's real stuff.
I know that there are anti-Semitic Jews out there. That is a real thing. Just like there's self-loathing everything, but Zelensky's not one of them.
No, he's not. You are a stand-up dude. You are literally cementing, that's in there. You're cementing your place in world history.
100%.
Do not stop.
100%. Keep doing what you're doing.
Stop.
You're doing, your people are seeing that. The fact that you're walking out there, your people are seeing that.
And remember, it was the Ukrainians that put the Soviets into space. It was not the Russians.
GP2.
It was the Ukrainians. It was Ukrainian scientists. It was Ukrainian, not cosmonauts. They put their own up there. But engineers and all that. You guys did that.
They were the foundation of the Soviet space program.
You did that. If you go back in history, you're the one.
More than the foundation. They're the foundation and the walls. Yeah.
You're older than Russia. Their claim on your nation is... it's solely based off of you asking for help, 1,000 years ago? That is a garbage claim right there. And if any Russians that listen to this, in all honesty, you were better than this. Again,
and to be fair,
World War II.
be fair, there are Russian citizens that have been talking out against this. So to be fair, those of you doing that and speaking out against it and not sipping that Kool-Aid, like me, keep it up.
Keep it up.
Keep it up. You're the real ones. Keep it up. And on that note, hey, Ukraine.
What is it? Vostrova. Boop. I gotta save some for the Warriors. I gotta drive later too, so. Ooh, that's smooth. That's nice.
Right? That's not an expensive bottle either.
Wigs, man. Sorry for the slight silence. It's just like, oh.
Yeah, wow. It's a moment of awe because Wiggins
come up with that.
is balling.
He's murdering
out.
it right now. Team, remember, team. Everything is a team sport except tennis.
Golf.
Well, and even even then, there's team. Wrestling. Ooh.
That's travel.
He fell on his own. Yeah.
There's a minute 10 left. Dubs are up 16. It's pretty much over. The starters are out. And I think they just called that on Juan Toscano-Anderson.
Yeah, but
Oakland's pride.
Seriously, Ukraine, I stand with you. I know we switched gears real quick, but I just remembered that, and it's always on my mind.
They deserve their respect in their moment, and more than just their moment. Honestly, like that's selling them short, saying they deserve their moment. But in this short period we have right now, they deserve some recognition, and it's I'm kind of at a loss for words with it. It's
annoying.
Yeah,
it's annoying to see
the fact that and the fact that the world leaders are so soft, in the fact that could have been handled very quickly.
Nope, you almost lost it.
That could have been handled very quickly had NATO stepped in and said, "That's enough. They're signing with us."
Well, see, that's where the problem lies, is you have them not wanting to do it for a while, which is understandable.
Well, and that's fair. They don't have to, but they've been talking about doing it for a minute now. You got to secure the rebound. It's garbage time at this point, but you got to secure that. So, but anyways, they have every right to sit there and drag their feet, but by all accounts, they were on the verge of signing on the dotted line to join NATO. Like they've been, now that Zelensky's in power, they've been wanting to. They've been working towards it.
But it's a bureaucratic process.
It is. It's a process. It's just like anything else. Like you said, it's a bureaucratic process. There's a lot of I's that need to be dotted and T's that need to be crossed. But you're trying to tell me that there's no way to expedite it or to even step in this moment and be like, well, now they're part of us. So now that you're in there, you're dealing with all of NATO. And for as much as Putin is a lot of talk, he's also not completely stupid, and he would see that is an unwinnable battle. And I know there's a lot of talk that he'll press that button, the nuclear button, but I don't think he would, because I think he loves himself too much, honestly. Like, beyond anything else, because as soon as you press that button, it's mad. It's
victory. We have number one victory. Wires one win away. One win away. We put you in the grave. Put you in the grave, Boston. You Celtic. You no longer exist.
But it's
for this season.
They're not going anywhere anytime soon, too. They got a good team.
Oh, yeah. And when Wiseman comes back, it's going to be nice.
Please stay healthy. Please. But, yeah, damn, okay. But going back to it, he knows that the second he presses that button, it's mad. It's mutually assured destruction.
Well, and it's the annoying... pisses me off. I'm having like 17 thoughts. It's
which sounds like one of our conversations.
Again, it comes down to allowing businessmen to go out and run amok. When the Soviet Union fell, what happened? We had a bunch of businessmen roll in there and literally just spend all that money that was supposed to be, I shouldn't say all that money, but a majority of that money. They spent, and a majority of their time, they spent on hookers and blow, and effing off.
Like literally,
there's a lot of
literally, that's not even an exaggeration.
I want to say, I'm not sure. Someone who's in the know and is a lot smarter than me, chime in. But I'm pretty sure the Soviet military was like, come over and take everything. It's better if that happens. And we're over here dragging our feet. Nah, and then we let the businessmen go in there and, they'll help them get on their feet. And it's like, no, you're trusting a bunch of people who literally were handed money to begin with. They don't know how to build shit. You're not gonna know how to build the infrastructure of a country if you're not from there, if you're not immersed in the culture, and that was a big problem. We can't be doing that. It's wrong on multiple levels, and look, it came back and it bit us in the ass. Everybody likes to give Nixon, only Nixon could talk to China. Yeah, and now we're screwed. Why? You don't need to talk to China. Our quarrel was with the Vietnamese. Now, I understand the logistics of negotiating with the Chinese to get their people out of there.
Which would then weaken the Northern Vietnamese.
Yeah, I get that. But we're not at war with them, and the Vietnamese don't like them. So you should have been working on, I don't know, sowing seeds of irritation between them, not literally going there as a punk-ass Republican and being like, hey, first off, I know that the Democrat LBJ is close to working out a peace treaty with you and pulling out. Ignore that, and when I come into office, I'll give you more favorable terms. Doesn't happen. War goes on for another, I think, 5 years. We lose 15,000 servicemen because that piece of shit young. And many other Republicans wanted to make money. That is beyond annoying. That's treason to me. Again, you sell out American lives so you can make money. All that does is buy bad karma points. And if we go, who knows? Maybe the next time we go to war, because you guys literally whittled the country out to the point to where nobody has any national or any national pride anymore. They have this white pride. White is right. That shit, it never died. I was a little, I was like, damn, when Obama won, because I knew we were gonna get Trump. I knew it.
And not necessarily Trump, but
no, you got Trump, not Trump in name, but exactly. The guy. All you had to do was look at John Boehner's face. He almost said the N-word when Obama won. Go look it up. You could see it in his face. The good old boy came out. And why?
You could see that all here was, I'm gonna make sure this is the worst presidency of all time.
He literally said that. Why would you do that? It's our country. Obama was born here. Yeah, his dad may have come from Africa, but how many of you people...
Yeah, but have you seen the birth certificate?
Man, how many of you people came from Europe? And I've heard that more Social Security scams
a little tangent here.
Any other motherfucking...
Little tangent here. One of my favorite things from the 2015 presidential race was Trump saying, and I paraphrase, I do not quote directly, I paraphrase, my grandparents didn't come to this country from Germany to have immigrants take their jobs. Take a second and think about that. My grandparents didn't come to this country from Germany to have immigrants take their jobs.
Well, and the whole immigrant thing. What irritates me is the whole time you've been trying to keep down immigrants and black, brown. They're here. They're going to destroy the country. They're going to take all our jobs. Well, if you look at it, people from the continent of Asia have all of us blown way the fuck out the water. You have legit, and I don't care what any systematic racism, it exists. White privilege, it exists. And I mean,
it doesn't mean
no, in the historical sense where the government literally were if you're white, I'm literally handing money out to you, but they did it in a classist way. If you are worth a lot of money, I'm gonna give you, tens of thousands to thousands. If you're, in the middle class, because the middle class didn't really exist then, I'm gonna give you about a couple $100. If you're poor, here goes $10. Get out of here. So white privilege
what that's
was a
basically
thing.
become today is more in legality than anything, and
not allowing any of the black soldiers returning from World War I or World War II, specifically World War II with the GI Bill.
Even more recent.
They weren't allowed to go to college or buy a home. What type of shit is that? They were excluded from that. Nah, you ain't getting no money to buy no home. I understand that you did everything they did, and you would have did more, but I didn't allow you. But, it's cool. It's cool. They literally outfitted a whole, and then you look at the bigotry and slight racism. They had a whole battalion of Japanese soldiers, interspersing them with, other Americans. Nope. We're going to make one whole battalion, put them slant-eyed little bastards over there. I was born here. I don't even speak Japanese. Bro, what the hell is wrong with you?
And those are the ones that weren't stuck in the internment camps.
Man, yeah.
Which, for those of you in the Bay Area, for us, it wasn't that far away. It was just over in Pleasanton.
Sacramento. Oh, wow. Pleasanton? Mm-hmm. Wow.
Livermore, Pleasanton.
Wow.
Right in that area.
Super close.
Kind of roughly near where the Santa Rita jail is, like kind of in that area.
I mean, if we were to encounter that problem again.
Might have been Livermore. But,
I would do it because it made some pretty badass soldiers.
They did have some.
They were pretty awesome. Movie needs to be made.
I guess you could call them positive effects. Not really, but
no,
from a fighting standpoint, it did because.
Hey, how do you make coal a diamond?
You put them in there, and they came out of those camps so pissed off. They were powder kegs that you just had to point towards a target.
It's Rudy only with someone who has who actually has the capability. Because you can ask anybody, Japan and anybody from Japan, their history is not one of pacifism. Those people.
Especially when it comes to them in China.
Yeah, them in Korea, them in themselves. Like, they legit they're fighting people. And you go into, I consider myself a World War II buff. There was plenty of times we went against them and they had nothing, and they inflicted casualties.
Oh, they fought tooth and nail down to the last little speck.
And then you look at
you have to respect
during the Civil War.
Yeah,
same thing.
Oh, that's that's a great example too. Like, the African Americans during Civil War. I mean, they knew they were legit fighting for their freedom, and you can see it in the way that they were fighting.
Some were fighting before then. What a lot of people don't realize is the Revolutionary Army was desegregated. People don't realize that.
Especially the smaller militias and stuff like that.
There was a lot of black people in them, and some a lot of the northern militias. Yeah. It was like, whatever, let's do this.
And in some cases
it was different.
Well, in some cases it was, obviously this is a Hollywood movie and this is kind of a romanticized version of it, but in the Patriot, where the guy, he's too old to go fight, but he signs his slave over to fight on his behalf. Obviously, the whole interaction there probably went a little bit differently, but that type of thing did happen.
Well, I think in the Union once.
Well, no, I'm talking about revolution. I'm talking about revolution right now.
Oh, in the revolution, no. The revolution had to do the same thing. The Brits were saying, hey, you come fight for us, you're free. So the revolution, everybody in the revolution, after a minute was like, we kind of have to...
Well, no, I'm saying the scene from The Patriot where he signs
where
over
he goes
slaves.
and he signs over.
That's what I'm...
That would have had to been early in the war.
Oh, absolutely. And in key
and mind
situations...
you, The Patriot is very historically inaccurate.
Oh, extremely.
But the situation did happen.
I'm not talking about that movie being a historical reenactment in any manner. Just that singular scene, that type of thing did happen. And there were situations where if you go fight for the the colonies, you will be free. That's what was being promised. Which is why you did see, not the sole reason, but a reason you did see a lot of, former slaves or current slaves fighting so that they could win their freedom.
Yeah.
It was kind of a gladiator situation. You win, you're free. You lose, well, you're dead.
Yeah, and a lot of them, and shit, even when a lot of lost, the Brits were like, all right, F them, let's go. So you had a lot of Africans, African Americans go from here to England. And they were like,
because at that point, England was already phasing out slavery.
And they were. It's not like, all right, you stay here. It's all like, well, don't I hold rank? And it's like, yeah, you hold rank. What do you can't stay here. Like, let's go. So it's all like, oh, okay, well, let's go. I don't want to be here. Who wants to be a slave? Nobody. Even the sharecroppers. Look at all the poor white sharecroppers. Why do you think, the Underground Railroad, was able to succeed to the level it did? You had a lot of poor white Christians that, were like, this isn't right. And not only that, they're all like, it's hard enough for me to get around, live without living in that type of squalor, being in those type of chains. Man, that was a shot. 0.1 seconds left, and he just said, out of my
two
hand.
games, buzzer beater, just inside the half.
From like 30 feet.
That was more than 30. That was probably like a 34-footer, 32-footer, yeah.
Well, the other one was just as far, huh?
Just about. It was the other side, yeah. But, yeah, no, it's absolutely. And these are the types of things. That's
a stupid commercial.
Yeah, it was.
But
super distracted.
The Warriors won. Yeah, but getting back on topic, you really gotta watch how you do things. Everything has a what's the word I'm looking for? Or the term. There's cause and effect. And it really does matter. And what we did, at the fall of the Soviet Union and just, creating just economic, chaos. I mean, some of it was good, but let's be honest. If you're going there, you're going there to screw people over. You're not going to be there to do them any favors.
In a lot of cases, if you look, the ends of wars create these economic vacuums that leave openings for this. I mean, you have situations like the Soviet Union where, these countries kind of break off and they become their own sovereign nations, like the Ukraine, which is a sovereign nation.
It was a sovereign nation before the Soviet Union got up and running.
And then, so you have those situations. And then you have the situation like post-World War I, World War II. With the Ottoman World War One, yeah, with the Ottoman Empire, which now is basically you took a bunch of land and it's like, Turkey. Oh, that's ours, and you. Well, yeah, that was where the Ottoman. I'm talking about more the strip like Gaza and stuff like that. And you look at what's going on with Israel. I mean, you took all these Jews who had nowhere to go, and a lot of these world leaders were like, well, we don't want them in our country, which That's real shit. Like that's
how it went.
Legit how it went. Like it wasn't.
Churchill asked. He was friends with the guy. The guy did a lot of fundraising. He got a lot of money for the war effort, and I think a lot of money for Churchill himself back in England. So when the war was over, he was like, I need a place for my people. Churchill was like, hey, America got a lot of land. Roosevelt was like, no, don't want none of them over here.
Well, Roosevelt wasn't even there at that point.
No, he was still around.
Oh, you're talking about before he died?
This was before he died. He was like, nah, I don't think that's going to fly, homeboy.
We'll take those ones right there.
We're a Christian country.
We'll take those right there, which we're not.
We're not. There is no religion.
We don't have a set religion. Just like we don't have an official language. The primary language is English. We don't have an official. There's no official religion. We're not a religious state.
There's a reason our forefathers did that. In fact,
those of you patriots, it's first off, you're not a patriot. I'm sorry to break this to you. You're a nationalist masquerading as a patriot.
Yeah, you're loyal to you and your race. You're not loyal to your country.
No, you're not. You're not a patriot. 90% of you motherfuckers out there talking about I'm a patriot. You're not a patriot. Dude. You're a nationalist masquerading as a patriot. But let's beyond that. We don't. Yeah. If you really look at what the forefathers who had their detractions, they weren't perfect men. If you look at what they wrote, which they took straight up from the Magna Carta.
No. What people need to understand, a good portion of our country and our structure comes from not only Rome, it comes from the basis of the Magna Carta, but it comes deep from what existed in the United States 1,000 years before we even got started. The current United States, I think it was five Native American tribes, I'll say African American tribes, 5 Native American tribes up in the Northeast. They decided that they were going to get together and they were going to become one union. There were 5 different states, one union. That's where and there's a whole story. God, what was his name? Damn it, now I gotta...
Well, while he's looking it up, I'll dig into it a little bit.
Go to Simple History and go, Native America. Here, God damn it, let me find it.
Fucking Ava's picture right there is hilarious.
Yeah.
But, anyways, they baked in to the foundation of this country that church and state are separated, which tells you one thing. We do not have an official religion. So those of you saying, we're a Christian country. No, we're not. You're a Christian living in America. That's fine. By all means, we've gone into, discussions on religion in past episodes. And we've talked about it. We've talked about our stances on religion. Hey, if that's what you need to do to get through your life, by all means, but do not try and sit there and tell me you're this great Christian while you're sitting there judging everyone, while you're sitting there doing all this shit that Jesus, who was Jewish and Middle Eastern, I mean, he wasn't fair-skinned unless he was albino. In which case, he was probably red most of the time. But Jesus, who was Jewish, preached a lot of things that y'all ain't practicing. Come on now. And, I ain't even gonna get off my soapbox. That's what this whole thing is. It's our soapbox. Still can't find it.
I'm looking for it.
With very little luck.
Yeah, very little luck. I'm gonna have to look for it.
We can circle back to it at another time.
I want to say Hiawatha is the guy. Actually, let me look. The name just came to me.
Hiawatha was a guy. I don't know if that's the guy you're talking about.
Hiawatha. God damn it, you bastard. Yeah, it was Hiawatha.
Boom.
Yeah, look at that. What is it? Extra credits. Hiawatha. Look that up. He had Warren tribes, their dude was the number one war master, beat everyone's ass. They went, to all the weaker tribes, like, hey, let's chat it up, let's not go to war anymore, let's be cool, we be a coalition, we could talk stuff out. They're like, all right, they went to everybody. Then they went to the, to the big baddie, placated his ego, got it done, and then, they became the first, united tribes, basically what we are now.
Essentially United States. They weren't called states.
But they were the first.
It was.
They were one of the first ones to actually do that, and essentially
to be fair, that type of thing,
culture.
I mean, honestly, that's a lot of what human history, when you see larger entities, when it's not a situation where I'm just going to take you over, it's not a Persian situation, it's not a Roman situation, but it's like you see a lot of that. It happened in Britain, it happened in other places where multiple tribes come together and go, we're better off together. You have something I need, you have something I need, I have something you both need, let's work together. And in a lot of times it does start via trade. They have something that tribe B needs, tribe C has something tribe A needs, and they just start, whether it's a triangle or, whatever, how many ever it is. Usually it is a smaller number, 8, 13.
That's
was
cool. They got a Warriors flag in Korean. Ugh. That's cool.
That's sick. 13 in the case of the American colonies is actually a kind of high number for them to actually agree to certain things to be able to make it even work, which is why there were a lot of concessions. Exactly. Because it's such a high number. When there's 2 people, there's not a lot. 3, there's not a lot. 4, you start getting into 5, 6, 7, 8, 13, especially 13 with all sorts of different priorities and ideals. It definitely makes it very difficult. So the fact that they were able to get 13 to agree that Big Bad Britain needed to go and we should all link up and be able to make it work, granted, some of the concessions were kind of fucked up, but it's pretty impressive. I mean, that is some serious negotiating. Let's be real. That's some serious negotiating, and you can absolutely argue that some of the concessions that the quote unquote northern, the non heavy slave states, because let's not get it twisted, there were still slaves up there.
Oh yeah. There was 2, maybe 3 states that were slave states that were in the fought for the Union. So. And there was a lot of before the Civil War broke out. There was a lot of concessions that would have benefited the South. They were just, the upper echelon were a-holes.
Homeboy's got a cat out there in the party.
Yeah, a lot of these people are losing their stuff. They are. See, we have to win because we have Ukrainian colors. So I mean, it would just.
Ooh, it would be good call. Good call.
See. We're for Ukraine. Yeah, he does. The cat almost looks like an ocelot.
Yeah, that's some sick-ass coloring. That's like straight leopard color.
And I legit had to turn off, what was it, Metal Gear Solid 3 when Ocelot goes, rare. I legit said off. My sister was like, you just bought this game. I was like, nah, I'm done. I can't play this. This is garbage. Get out of here. I'm done. That was, you lost me. One of his dudes would have shot him. They would have been like, this man. Wow. Oh, whoops, my AK went off. His face is gone now.
Damn, man. In Metal Gear Solid 2, he was such a sick character.
Man, he was Metal Gear Solid 1.
Yeah.
That's the one he was in.
No, he was in 2 also.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, he was.
Was he?
Yeah.
It's been hella long since. Hey, remaster that. I want to play it. And, update the controls, because those controls were garbage. I tried to play it. I was like, nah, I'm going to have to. These controls are annoying. They're very annoying. Been on New Vegas. Seriously, Bethesda, no more Skyrims. I'd like another Elder Scrolls. And quit being douches, man. Let a Fallout New Vegas 2 or a remaster be done. And I want you to include not all the content, but a good portion of it. Because a remaster or a remake of that game would be...
Give me...
Just
go talk to the people from Obsidian and have them do another Fallout game.
Just Fallout
and I know Obsidian, isn't Obsidian anymore, but those people still exist. Go talk to them, create a new studio, or just bring them straight on to Bethesda and say, here's your title. You're doing a Fallout game. Have at it.
I mean, there's no shame in the people who originally made, a lot of the people who originally made the original game, there's no shame in them doing a better job than you.
If y'all got a PC, if y'all got a computer, not even a PC, just a computer, go play Fallout 1 and Fallout 2. Those are two of the best turn-based role-playing games ever. The writing, beautiful. The story, awesome. The gameplay, fun as hell.
If you have
I've replayed Fallout 2
a lot.
I've replayed Fallout 2 dozen times, maybe more. I've beaten the game and gone back immediately and started a new one. That's how good that game is.
It's very good. Both of them. If you're not into playing video games, then I urge you to go to...
I urge you to stop not being into it.
Yeah, you should do it. It's good for you. It's actually good for your brain, especially if you're, going into retirement or you really have nothing to do, you have idle time. It actually is good. They did a study in children who watch TV compared to children who play video games. Those who played video games it is a very big difference in intelligence. You actually have to use your brain. You have to solve puzzles.
Plus, hey,
if you like playing sports at all, the shite out of you.
It hits your hand-eye coordination too.
Yeah, well, just playing period helps your hand-eye coordination.
That's what I'm saying. Playing video games, hand-eye coordination. Playing outside and stuff like that will too. But hey, you can't always be outside. I mean, when we were growing up, back in my day,
you couldn't go outside. I used to hail bullets.
But when we were younger, it was when video games really were starting to come big. We would go out and play outside all day and then come in and play video games because you can't play out. You don't. So, and things have changed. Society's... I don't really need to go into it. You guys are alive today. You see what's going on in society. There was another situation. Did you hear about this in Texas? Oh. Another shooter?
Well, first off, Texas is a shithole.
But another shooter shot into a classroom at a summer camp. Cops popped him. He's dead. And there's no known injuries. But it's another situation. And shit like this is happening far too much. We went into this a couple weeks ago after the Uvalde situation. But so things have changed. There's a lot going on. And on top of that, they're doing away with a lot of these programs for kids to be able to go play sports with a team where they're, it's kind of a safe space. Shit,
they took away the police athletic league. A lot of these, my dad said when he grew up that he was in that league all the time. There was cops everywhere. They knew you because they coached you. And now you don't see these people walking the beat. They're always in their car.
There is no beat anymore.
And there's a big problem because the FBI said that police offices, police departments, goddammit, have been infiltrated by white supremacists. This is their goal, to get in to policing and then to be dicks to people, left and right, to anybody. It ain't
this is something that we can really dive into in a future show, talking about some of the ideas for police reform, because there does need to be something done, and we've kind of roughly touched on it, but they're definitely, like, as it's structured right now, it's not working.
It's not. It's horrible. If you're a detective, you got like 39 cases to just you.
I saw a stat, and I didn't dig into it, but I saw a stat, that said it was something like 40% of homicides in the United States are solved. That means 60% go unsolved.
That means you
got a 3 in 5 chance. That means you have a 3 in 5 chance of getting away with murder.
Hey, and if you're a serial killer, go watch true crime YouTube channels. There's a lot of them out there. It's scary. It really is scary.
Hey.
Ladies, I love you. I wish you could run around naked all day. But guess what? There are fucking predators out there.
And
stay safe. Keep your head on a swivel.
When we say predators, these motherfuckers are truly animals.
Some of them don't even want to sexually, penetrate you, do they? Just they get off on killing a specific type of woman. You meet the criteria.
And even if they do want to penetrate you, it's not for sexual reasons. It's pure power.
And that's why I believe you should get a gun and know how to use it.
I'm 100%.
You'd be surprised you don't have to shoot somebody. You could shoot at them.
Oh, yeah. And for a lot of these, in a lot of these cases,
if you have to, if it's your life versus theirs, take them. There's an old saying, I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. Yeah. And if you don't know what that means, I'd rather face a jury than be carried by pallbearers. And yeah, that's something I could get behind.
And like he said it exactly as I was about to, is ladies, and this goes for everybody, but especially ladies, because you're viewed as prey by a lot of these motherfuckers. Right or wrong, that's how they view you. Keep your head on a swivel. Always be aware of your surroundings. Always. I tell my daughter that constantly.
Eye contact. Let that motherfucker see that you see him.
It's okay if you're a little skittish. That's good.
Pretend you got a weapon. Go in there and grab your stuff. Don't be timid. There's a reason that smaller animals turn and buck up. What? They'll give a mock charge. People don't necessarily want to get in an altercation.
And in a lot of cases, yes. And in a lot of cases,
scream fire. Don't scream help. Scream fire, fire, fire. Help, fire, fire, fire. And
in a lot of cases,
are more likely
just doing that, they're gonna book it because they're looking for prey. They're looking for an easy target. So if you present yourself, little girls,
she's going at it. She's like, "Yeah, I'm out late. We won. This shirt's too big. Make me fall dancing."
But if you present any sort of challenge to them, a lot of them will just turn coat and run. They'll put their tail between their leg and go, all right, next one, on to the next one. Now, does that suck for the next one? Absolutely, but that keeps you alive. But if you do that, and then the next one does it, and then the next one does it, and then the next one does it, and eventually they're going to come across one that lets them get close enough, and then takes them. Because there are some bad women out there.
Oh, yes. Women can most definitely defend
There are some
themselves.
out there. Oh, absolutely. And there are
monsters.
There are some out there that look for the opportunity to do that. And they will come if you do it. It just be loud and project a difficult target. If you do that, and then the next one does it, and the next one does it, and then he comes across that one that's just looking for that opportunity to let loose.
Well, see, and if you have a pistol and you feel you're getting, walked up on, just pull it out before they even get close, flash it, and put it back in your purse. Flash it, put it back in your pocket. Okay, you got one of them. I'm gonna walk over here, even if I'm not even tripping on you, and you flash me your pistol.
And if you're not comfortable with the firearm, and honestly, that is probably the best defense thing you're gonna have.
Get used to a firearm.
You should know how to use one, because you never know what's gonna. Look what happened in Ukraine. Everyone says it can't happen. It can't happen. It can't happen until it does. Always be prepared for situations. But even then, say you're not comfortable with it, or there's a waiting period. Go get yourself some pepper gel. and be ready to use it.
Get an air horn.
Air horn, pepper gel, because the gel's nice because it sticks. And there's no splashback, so you're not getting yourself.
They have pepper ball shooters.
Yeah, if you're not comfortable with with a firearm, go get one of those little personal defense little pepper ball shooters. That'll get the job done. That'll absolutely get the job done. And aim for the fucking eyes.
Yeah.
Aim for the eyes. Make them uncomfortable.
Well, don't aim center mass.
Yeah.
Go it'll puff up and it'll fuck them up. Go center mass. Go where it's easier to hit. And once someone gets tagged, once someone sees a pistol, something that's gonna shoot, they're gonna run, because all the mind's gonna think is, oh crap, it's time to go. That's cool how they're laying the wire as they're cutting. That's pretty cool. But going back, because we'll have to wrap up. Going back to the video game thing, if you're not into playing video games specifically like Fallout, go look up. His name's Oxhorn. He does a little series on YouTube, and he goes through the story of Fallout New Vegas, and it's not like a 5-hour, 12-hour thing. No, they're segmented. I think the longest is he'll keep it to an hour, and you get a real feel for the game. And the medium is great because it's not, you're not just being told, you're experiencing. So when you're out there, you understand, the brutality of what the villain is doing, or the villainous group is doing. Or if you're because in New Vegas you can align with the good guy or the bad guy, or you could be like, what, I'm gonna do my own thing and be independent. There's many things. And Bethesda, in New Vegas, to me it felt like there was far more thought and creativity put into one of the New Vegas DLCs compared to legit everything you put out for Fallout 4. Fallout 4 to me felt empty. It felt like I could
And there's aspects of 4 that are really cool.
I really loved being able to build up my base. What I didn't love was that it was never really attacked. I loved the fact that, the Brotherhood was there. It was a little stupid, but, that was all right. What the Brotherhood or what the Institute was about was stupid. That didn't make any sense. You keep the template. I like being able to build up my settlements. That is great, but don't have it be, I'm a god. That's stupid. It works for Fallout New Vegas because you were a small piece that then was forced to become a part of something a lot larger, because you were insignificant, then you got shot in the head, and then you literally got revived, and the whole story is you trying to get revenge. And in getting revenge, you get to the New Vegas Strip, because it's a walled off little city, and homeboy, House, the major, one of the
Casino.
major players,
yeah.
He and responsible for keeping Vegas, that little part of Vegas, from being completely destroyed during the nuclear war. He invites you in, and he has you become a larger role, which you never really were. You were just bringing the chip to him, and that was going to be it. But someone stole it, so hey, I need you. It's mutually beneficial. The guy who stole my chip is the dude who shot you. Let's work together, and I'll pay you more money. And then it goes from there. And there's the DLCs. All are stories within their own.
Exactly.
They loosely connect.
They're short games in and of themselves, which makes for good DLC.
They did what Kevin Feige tried to do, and I wanna correct myself. He was involved a lot sooner than
the whole MCU.
Iron Man. He started coming about during the cartoons, but still it doesn't take away from the fact that Favreau was the one who literally literally was the one who did it. You cannot deny when you don't have a script. You just any moron can be like, fight scene, funny line, funny, and that's literally what you say. I want comedy and fight scene. It's like, okay, but you didn't sit down, you didn't have a writer, you're literally telling the director, find your writer, and you guys come up with this shit on the spot. That's not good. The tie-ins were crappy. I don't care what anybody says. Literally tacking on 30 seconds of some dude being all like, I guess I better do it myself. That's not a connection. That's literally someone just watching something unfold and then saying like 18 times, I guess I gotta do it myself. Well, when are you gonna send somebody? Because you ain't sending nobody. And then when you did, he got his ass beat, and then it was like, that's it, and then the modern, I literally, they lost me after I liked the first Avenger movie, but even then I was like, okay, well, so I guess Iron Man, we have the Hulk and, Thor, but somehow this dude in some contemporary metal suit is somehow competing with all these other people. That makes no sense to me. None. It's like none. I don't like how Iron Man just, he's supposed to be a cheaper Batman. And he is to me. He is a cheaper Batman. His tech to me, it's all like, okay.
He doesn't have the fighting ability or the detective skill of Batman.
I'll buy it.
He's a genius. He's a technological genius. He's an engineering genius.
He should be figuring shit out, but by no means should he be the one that I'm gonna make the sacrifice. Even though the fucking Hulk, who's way more powerful than me, and if he gets hurt, he just goes, ow, and gets stronger. Yet he puts on the Infinity Gauntlet, and he's like, I'm hurt. And
the Thor, was it World Breaker?
Oh yeah, Oh yeah, man, that would be a cool movie. I don't know how you people don't know how to do the Hulk. He's a melodrama. He's the easiest one. He's human with his chick. You do something, get me mad. Oh shit, he's gonna kill that. Nope. All right. He's keeping it cool. You have all this stuff with the dad. There's a lot of things you can do, but you have these subpar writers who you don't want to pay. So
there's good writers. They don't want to pay. No. There's good writers.
There are good writers.
Pay them,
you just don't want
so they go get these other ones.
You're gonna go get people that work on like
when you go shop at the dollar store for your writers. That's what you're gonna.
Yeah,
there are fantastic writers out there that are just sitting there waiting for you to call.
And you do nothing.
Open up the checkbook a little bit more. Trust me.
And Steven, you've been putting out, garbage. Every, Jurassic World, garbage. All these new Jurassic Parks, garbage. Can you, motherfucker, I want you to get off your ass.
And he's talking to Steven Spielberg right now.
Steven Spielberg. And you, George. Get your heads back in the game.
Oh, dude, George doesn't give a shit. He's got his money.
I understand that, but nigga, get your asses off your ass, and fucking get to work, man. I want some
fumbling over them words. He's fumbling, rumbling, bumbling.
I don't want no new Indiana Jones. I don't need no female Indiana Jones.
You didn't like the Shia LaBeouf one?
I have a female Indiana Jones. Her name is Laura Croft. How could you not produce a decent Laura Croft?
And they've made 3 films, two separate iterations.
She doesn't need to be, mega big boobed, but she needs to be.
In the video game, she was because,
I mean, come on now.
The developers.
Come on now. As a dude, do I like big boobs? Yes. Do I like little boobs? Yes. Do I like medium boobs? Yes. Do one where, I don't know, the chick can act and actually be believable when she has to be physical.
Yeah,
that's what I care about.
Give me that.
And she's an athletic chick. That's what I want to see. You could put a push-up bra. That ain't hard. Sex appeal's not hard with Laura Croft. She's usually in hot, humid places. Dudes are gonna be
scantily clad. Yeah.
She don't even have to be scantily clad. Just in shorts. And you need a woman that has some thigh. That, like, legs, gams, and a little push-up bra. Problem solved. That's all you need. A little bit of cleavage and thigh. And I mean muscular thigh. I don't need no chick that, I love you, Angelina Jolie, but I do not buy you in anything physical. You're too small, homegirl.
She's not, especially for that role, she's not.
Jennifer Lawrence she's barely meeting the cut, and, not even anymore. Scarlett Johansson, yes, she stood in shape for Black Widow. If you want to be an action star, you need to have muscle, Robert Pattinson. I'm not going to believe your little skinny ass doing anything.
It's
like,
true.
Bro, I mean,
if you're skinny, you better be absolutely just.
I believe Selma Blair with MS could whoop your ass. Legit. You don't. If I was to see you and you were to come in like Batman intimidating, you know what my first thought would be? I'm gonna kill this guy. And I'd succeed, because you're garbage. Even as I'd like to see the new movie. It's just, I have to convince myself.
And I've heard that your acting chops.
You're not a bad actor.
Have improved significantly.
Well, he didn't care on Twilight.
That's fair. That is fair.
In his defense, for all we know, he was directed in a manner that he was just like
that is fair. That is absolutely
fair. And apparently some of those lines, I mean,
they're like lines out of free romance novels.
Like nobody would be able to
that is a fair point as far as acting goes. But again, if you're gonna be a superhero, an action star, you have to have a level of muscle. You don't have to be Arnold and Conan.
No.
You don't have to be this just massive human being.
But I do have to believe that you can.
But you also have to, and you have to fit the rough idea of that character. So I give it to Chris Hemsworth for Thor. He bulked up a lot for that role because Thor is a large dude.
Thor is not small.
So I give him that. Like, if you're gonna take on a role like that, Chris Evans with Captain America, same thing. If you're going to be playing that type of role, you do have to get bigger. But if you're not playing a role where they're traditionally a large or just big dude.
Bro, and if you think you're smashing ass now, wait till you start working out. Then when these little girls will literally they'll be melting off of you. But that being said, we gotta go. I got a hard out, and I'm not trying to be stuck on Bart with all these people after the game.
Oh shit, that's right.
Gonna be hell.
Yeah, so let's get this motherfucker out here. We'll touch back on Deshaun Watson. We didn't give it enough time. We let you know going into this there was gonna be a little distraction.
Don't sexually harass.
But yeah, ultimately, moral of the story is. Just don't sexually harass. Yeah. I mean, just don't sexually harass people. Don't
harass people, period.
Yeah. And yes, making someone feel uncomfortable can be illegal. It absolutely can. So, with that being said, we will touch on that a little more because I have a feeling this isn't the last we've heard of the story. And, I'm sure a couple of these other things we got into, we could get into a little bit more. Go Dubs. Hey, one more game. For those of you on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Like, let's go.
Comment
for down below.
Almighty algorithm.
Comment down below. Just, give us a little feedback.
Hey, honestly,
why do you hate us? Why do you love us?
I think it's
give us some topics.
An algorithm, hit a period, hit some slashes. I don't think they care what you put as long as you put something in your interacting.
Hey, ask us questions. Throw out some topics. We'll dive into them.
Look up Hiawatha, man. You should really look on it.
Hey, but yeah, subscribe, like, follow, do all that shit.
Yeah.
We'll be back with you later.
All right, chimichanga. Yeah, you some say. All right, later.